everyone, today I'm here to do another Mashup review. So if you're unfamiliar with Mashup reviews, it's where I take 3 of my most recent reads, I try to keep them within the same genre, and review them all for you in one video. I tell you what the book is about, what I thought about it, and what I rated it. There will be no spoilers in all of these, just my general thoughts, and it's basically to help me to remember what I feel about these books and to help you figure out if you even want to read them or not. So today is going to be adult chicklit because you guys know how much I love those. Those are like my addiction. So the 3 books I will be talking about today is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey, The Friend Zone by Abby Gemezin, hopefully I pronounced that right. One of you guys told me how to pronounce it. I'm still probably doing it wrong. Please forgive me. And lastly, Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winfrey. As always, the timestamps will be down below in case you want to hear about one particular book, but if you want to hear about all 3, continue to watch forward. So the first book I want to talk about today is Fix Her Up. This is an adult chicklit. All of these are. I just said that. Forgive me. And this follows Georgette, known as Georgie, and she is the town clown. And by that, I don't mean people make fun of her. She's literally a clown, like a children's birthday party clown. She loves doing it. She does a lot of parties, but people also don't take her seriously because of that. She's also the youngest sister in the Castle family, and her family's known for like being house flippers, like I think Chip and Joanna. I know they're like huge. I don't know anything about them. I don't know. I'm out of the times. Don't have cable. I haven't had cable for like 10 years. But basically her family just goes in and buys a house and flips it. Her older brother heads up the whole business. He goes in and does the construction, tears down the house, flips it, all that kind of stuff. And then her sister will come in and kind of stylize it. Like, you know, when you want to sell a house, you gotta stylize it and things like that. And Georgie is not even involved in the business, so nobody really takes Georgie seriously. She's also been in love with her brother's best friend ever since she can remember, named Travis. Now, Travis was a professional baseball player. He had a really good couple of seasons. He had a lot of grand slams, which, oh gosh, here we go. To my knowledge, grand slams are, I think, when the bases are loaded and then you go up to bat and then you hit a home run. It's a grand slam because you're bringing 4 runs in. I know a little bit because my husband's obsessed with baseball. I don't really care. But anyway, he gets injured. He can't play baseball anymore, so he moves back home and he starts working with Georgie's family's business. And basically what happens is he has this opportunity arise to be a like broadcaster, but he doesn't have a very good family image. Like, he's known as promiscuous playboy. So Georgie decides to come up with a plan like, hey, let's fake date because I'm wholesome and good and everything nice, and if we fake date for a while, it'll make your image look good and you can get the job. If the plot sounds kind of loose, it is. So basically the whole plot is fake dating that you can guess goes from there. Overall, I give this book a 3 out of 5. First and foremost, let me tell you, this is a very adult book. I know I say that a lot on my channel because there are some books, there's a good chunk of books I read that have adult time in them, but it's not a lot. This book, wow, a lot. Like I was overwhelmed. So in case you do not like that aspect in books at all, but you can stomach a little bit of it, don't even pick this book up because it's very in detail, pages and pages and pages. I just want to preface you with that. That's not why I gave it a 3 stars. I gave it a 3 stars because it was just a so-so book. There was a couple things I liked about it, but there was a good majority that I didn't like about it. A couple things, I'm a sucker for romance. I truly am. I really love the pining kind of romance where I've been pining you for years and finally the person sees them in a new light and things happen. I'm also a sucker for fake dating. That just reels me in, honestly. I do like Georgie. Georgie was a very strong character. She knew what she wanted and she knew what she loved in her life, and she really got to blossom as her own and open up more avenues in her business and like grow up and be realistic about things. So I did like her. Travis, I did not really enjoy. He was also very possessive. Like, there would be several scenes where he would be like, you can't talk to that man, Georgie. Don't call him. Don't ever see him again. And I was like, that's not okay to say. Also, the amount of the word baby girl was used way too many times. He called Georgie that. I don't mind pet names. Every freaking couple has them. That's how it is, right? He would call her baby girl. She really enjoyed it, but the amount of times he called her baby girl in one page would be too much. I'm talking about 10 times in one page. That's just like, if we would have a general conversation that lasts for 10 minutes, he would call her baby girl like 5 or 6 times. Stupid thing I didn't like about it, but I'm just gonna be honest, I didn't like that about it. Also, the ending was what really drove me over the edge that I didn't like this book. It was too far-fetched. It was too cookie cutter. It was too just, I didn't feel necessary at all. But I mean, let's be honest here. If you're looking for a quick read that is full of adult time and steamy times, this would be a great book for it. Like, take it out to the beach, you'll be done with it in a day. Overall, 3 stars. There is going to be a sequel to this following different characters, and I probably will continue on because I do like Tessa Bailey's writing. I enjoy her romance, and I'm very interested in the next character's arc. So 5, like, not the worst, not the best, just kind of in the middle. It makes me never want to see the word baby girl again in my life, though. Next up, we have The Friend Zone by Abby Jamezin. This is another adult chicklit book, and in this book we follow a character named Kristen who has a lot going on in her life. She has, her best friend is getting married, so she's helping her plan that. She also has a medical condition, and she's going to get surgery soon to help fix it, but it's also going to make her not able to have children. So then she meets Josh, who is her best friend's fiance's best friend. It's so hard to explain. So he's best friends with her friend's fiance. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, of course they fall into like. It shows that Josh wants a lot of kids. He wants to have a lot of kids. He's not really open for adoption. He wants to have them all. And Kristen knows that she cannot fall in love with him because she cannot provide that for him. And that's kind of our whole plot from this book. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. I did really enjoy it. This book does touch on infertility a lot, which you guys know is a subject near and dear to my heart. Infertility is something that a lot of women struggle with that I don't see represented near enough in books. And that's not to say, like, sometimes I don't even want to read it because I just connect with it so deeply that it makes me sad, but it should be represented more. I, as a person, if you don't know my story, I have a 4-year-old son, and before him, I had 3 miscarriages. I had to go through lots of rigorous testing where lots of blood, at one point, I think I had like 15 vials of blood taken every other week to get levels and stuff. I had to have numerous surgeries to fix things. And then I was so lucky to have my rainbow baby, Noah. So it's a subject very near and dear to my heart. A lot of women struggle with it. So I was very happy to read this because it shed light on infertility and the book touched on infertility, which I did enjoy. Kristen has a medical condition that really she has to, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I mean, I am, so if you don't want to hear a lot about it, I understand, but I think you can guess from the plot from it, that's what's going to happen. Kristen has really bad cramps and periods that will last weeks and weeks, months sometimes, and so basically, and she gets a lot of pain from it, and it really hurts her physically, mentally, everything. It takes over her life, and so basically she's going to have a hysterectomy to help that, and basically she won't be able to have children. So that's her whole story of why she can't be with Josh. The whole book pretty much is about her and Josh basically in love, but they can't be together. But the problem I have with this book is the fact that she did not communicate. She didn't give a chance for Josh to be like, oh, you can't have children, I'm out. She never even told him until a certain point. It was just, we can't be together. I can't tell you why, but we can't be together. I can't make you happy. Find somebody else. And it made me so upset because I'm used to miscommunication in YA books because they are YA books and they are in high school, and I didn't know how to communicate when I was 16. I'm 30 now. I'm still learning how to communicate. But the point is, when you get up to that age, of my age, you learn a little bit better, especially when it comes to a partner. You learn how to express your feelings, express, you know, why you want to be together, why not. You just learn how to communicate better. And Kristen did not. She just constantly brushed him off, didn't say anything. The whole probably plot of this book could have been completely gone away if she would have communicated, because Josh was an amazing character we see time and time again in this book, but Kristen never communicated with him, and that is just why I didn't love this book. It's just because it was not communicated well. I say that, you know, I expect that in a YA book because I do, but when you're an adult book, I feel like communication should be better. I don't mind some miscommunication because that's life. I know I'm bad at communicating still, but she didn't communicate at all, honestly, like 0%. And it was just, the end was nice. Everything was wrapped up nicely, which I did like because as somebody that struggled for infertility, I enjoyed seeing that silver lining. But my whole qualm is, I just didn't enjoy this book for the communication. I sound like I'm bashing this book. I'm not, I promise. That just really irked me. The romance was good. There is a couple of adult times, not a lot, but this basically touches on infertility. There's also a lot of parts in this book that are very sad that doesn't have to do with infertility at all. Like, it made me shed a tear. It made me cry a couple times, but this was beautiful writing. I love the plot. I love the overall message about infertility and conceiving and things like that, and I did enjoy it. Just the main problem I have is just the miscommunication. I feel like a lot of problems could have been avoided or solved if communication was there. So I would recommend this book. Don't take me bashing this by any means. I'm not. I enjoyed it. I don't know why I'm so like fueled about the miscommunication, but I am. This book I want to talk about is Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winfrey. This is an adult chick lit, and basically we follow a girl named Annie Cassidy who lives in Columbus, Ohio, and she is a rom-com obsessed woman. She has seen every rom-com multiple times. She wants to be a screenplay writer. She wants to just be a lot of things, but she can't really get outside of Ohio. She lives with her uncle because her parents died when she was young, and basically what happens is this movie comes to be in Columbus where they're going to film for a few weeks. She gets a chance to be the assistant to the director, and she gets to meet the main star, what's her name? Drew, and feelings happen from there. And basically the plot, the thing says, a rom-com obsessed romantic waiting for her perfect leading man learns that life doesn't always go according to a script in this delightful and charming funny novel. I gave this book a 3 out of 5. Annie was very obsessed with rom-coms, to the point where like she would compare every man to like Tom Hanks, Nora Ephron type of romance, which I guess I get to a certain extent. I am also a rom-com fanatic. Like, it's bad. I love romance. That's why a huge part of me is a wedding photographer, because I just love so deeply. And I think Annie is that way as well, but she compares so many men she meets to this like Tom Hanks and You've Got Mail, or Billy Crystal and When Harry Met Sally. She compares them. If they don't come close, then it's not going to be good enough for her. When in reality, I'm like, you can't always do that. People show romance in different ways. My Handy just had like kind of her head in the clouds when it came to romance, and with the relationship with Drew, and basically you can tell what happens from the plot. Things happen. It was okay, a 3 out of 5. I will say I did enjoy all the rom-com references. I love that because I'm a rom-com person, but I think this book is just Annie learning that she cannot compare every man she meets to a leading man. Nobody's going to be as good as like Tom Hanks and You Got Mail, like I keep saying, because I don't know, he's just amazing in that. This book, it was a cute, fun read, a 3 out of 5. I don't think I have a ton more to say about it because it was just standard for me, so goodness me. This sounds like I've been bashing for like ever, doesn't it? I promise you I don't. I did enjoy all of these. I did enjoy all of them. I didn't like regret reading any of them. I enjoyed them, but I just kind of wanted all of them to be a little bit more oomph. Does that make sense? So basically, I think my favorite from the stack is the friend zone, even though I was like, miscommunication, da da da. I guess the rant Heather came out in me today, and I'm sorry, I won't be like that all the time. I'd say if you're a big fan of adult chick lit, I would check out any of these. They all offer something great. If you want something light-hearted, funny with rom-coms, Waiting for Tom Hanks is cute, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you want something that's very steamy and very just steamy, Fixer Up is there for you. If you want something that touches on a much serious note with infertility and learning to love and miscommunication, I guess, the friend zone is for you. So either way, I'm glad I read all these. I'm sorry if it sounded like I bashed them. I'm just trying to be honest, but I enjoyed them at the end of the day. There wasn't a part where I closed the book and I was like, I hated that I read that. No. So I would love to know your thoughts if you've read any of these, if you liked them, if you didn't like them, if we had the same thoughts, and etc. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.